Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your girl Zinhle, if you don't already know me, and I am back guys with another Wednesday video. Okay. So guys, on today's video I decided to do a sit-down video with you guys and just have like a talk where I just give you some of my experiences, maybe like some of my opinions when it comes to working in retail. Just for like a backstory for those who don't know, I was working in retail for like 5 years, and I was working throughout my varsity years, so I have quite a bit of experience when it comes to retail. So I decided to do a video today just to let you guys know on some of the pros and cons when it comes to like retail or working in retail. Okay, so if you guys are keen to see this video, please do continue watching, and please don't forget to subscribe, like and comment, and just let me know on some of the things you would like to know about retail, the retail industry, and some of the questions you might have regarding working in retail, and I will try my best to answer you guys as honest and as quick as possible. Okay, so with that being said guys, let's get right into today's video. Okay, so let's start this video with our pros. Okay, so one of my first pro would be you get to have interpersonal communication skills. So in that I mean you learn how to speak to different people. It literally takes you out of your comfort zone, because now you have to speak to like people who come from different backgrounds. So you learn to speak to people, you learn how to articulate yourself when it comes to speaking to people. I mean, you learn how to deal with people who come from different backgrounds as well. So you're not gonna meet the same person when you're working in retail. Obviously you meet different people, so you're not gonna meet the same set of people, but you get to learn to experience different kinds of people, because literally your job is speaking to people the whole day. Every day you need to speak to people, so you learn to have like interpersonal communication skills. Say for instance you're someone who is studying, say you're studying towards business, or you're studying towards being like a doctor or something. You still need interpersonal communication skills, because you need to know how to speak to people. So for instance, if you have an experience in retail and you have been through the whole journey of like retail experience, and you start studying towards being a doctor, for instance, I'm just making an example. So you come to that career or that certain environment with the knowledge of being able to speak to different people, because if you're a doctor you need to be able to talk to different people, because you are going to meet different people on a daily basis. So I would say that's one of the pros when it comes to working in. Okay, so the next pro that I'm gonna name 3 pros and 3 cons when it comes to working in retail, and you guys can just, I'm gonna leave a space for you guys to also ask me questions that you would like to know when it comes to working in retail. So the second pro would be physical activity. So for instance, when you're working in retail, you're always on your feet, so you're always working. This could be both a pro and a con actually, because I don't think standing all the time is good for your knees or good for your, you know, for your legs, because sometimes some people get veins from standing a lot, which I was starting to develop, but I'm not someone who has veins. So my mom was also quite worried about this, like veins. But anyway, it is a pro in the sense that, so for instance, when I was working in retail, even though I was not exercising my body was sort of in shape, so I was kind of healthy, and I was someone who was very active. So for instance, when I come back from work, instead of just sitting and just being lazy, I would literally come home and start cooking immediately, because I'm so used to the standing that it didn't affect me. I didn't get tired. So now I have a job where I sit down all the time. So I need to actually get back to working out. So when I was working in retail, it was not really that important. I don't know if that's the right word, but it was not really a must yokuthi the exercise, because every day it was an exercise. So I would say physical activity, you will get fit from working in retail, because also you take lunch, and then obviously during lunch you sit down, you eat your food, it digests and everything, and then you have to get up and go back to the floor where you need to start working again. So now that up and down, already your metabolism is also working quick, because now it needs to produce the energy that you need to get you through your work. So now say for instance, with the industry that I'm in right now, I eat and I sit down. So you understand why I'm saying I need to go back to the gym. Okay, so also another skill that you will develop when you're working in retail. So in most retail stores, for instance in leisure, you as employees rotate around being cashiers, right? So being a cashier means that you handle the money of the day. Say for instance, you're allocated to be a cashier, or you just choose to be a cashier for that day. You are responsible for that money. So for one, you learn to be responsible with money. For two, and then you learn how to handle money. So you learn the importance of being accurate, because you need to count that money every single day. So somehow it also contributes to you learning maths, like basic math skills. So if you're someone, for instance, who didn't go to school and you work in retail, you will learn mathematics, because you need to count money every day, and you are not supposed to fall short of the money that you have in your till. So those are some of the benefits as well of working in retail, because you are able to handle money, and it also teaches you how to be responsible with your money. Because for instance, when I started working in retail, I was in high school. I was in varsity. So me handling my money, salary wise, it was not good. So working in retail also taught me how to handle my money, not only the business's money, but also my money, because now I learned how to save money. I learned how to maneuver my money. I learned how to, for instance, I even have a credit record now because of retail. And if I want to buy a house or a car now, I am eligible to buy one, because why? My credit record has been accumulating, and also I've been building a credit record for myself. So for instance, if I got a job now, like the job that I have right now, I would first have to open accounts and do this and do that to build up my credit record. Whereas I started from a young age to build a credit record. So yeah, working in retail also gives you such benefits. So you learn how to be responsible with your own money. You learn how to manage your money in terms of your credit scores and everything. And you also have now the responsibility of counting large sums of money within the business of retail, depending on the retail store that you work for. Like I said, I was working for leisure, so that was amazing. I don't know with people who work in retail stores, like your food retail stores, I really don't know about those ones, but I'm talking about the leisure side of. Alright, so now we're gonna move on to our cons. The cons of working in retail, guys. Oh my gosh. Okay, actually it's not that bad. It's just that I was I was a bit tired. I was a bit tired of the industry. Okay, so first things first, which this is number one on my list because this was the most troubling part about working in retail. The first thing is the long hours. Guys, when I talk about long hours, I'm not just talking about working 10 hours or whatever. I'm talking about the fact that you can, depending on the week, you can work from a Monday to a Sunday, which is not good. Which is not good because it means you won't have a social life. It means that you will constantly be tired. So that was my life, basically. So it didn't happen all the time, but there were days where I have to work straight shift, which means I work from Monday to Sunday, which was terrible. Okay. The long hours as well is that, for instance, you would work from, say, depending on the area as well, because what I've noticed is that when I moved to Pretoria, my hours got longer, but also my salary got longer. So my salary increased as well. So like I'm saying, guys, it depends on the area. So for instance, in Bloemfontein, my hours were not so bad, so I'd work a straight 7-hour shift, including my lunch. That includes my lunch as well. But when I came this side, because obviously this side, the malls are bigger, it's a large population of people that comes in and out of the malls, so the hours were a little bit longer. So I didn't like that as well. But for someone who, if you really need a job, I mean, what is those few hours, you know? It's not really going to be that bad. It was actually not that bad, but it was not good as well, simply because you never have time to yourself. And the next thing is working during weekends and public holidays. That was tearing me up. I didn't like that part about retail. I didn't like the fact that I couldn't have weekends off. I couldn't go to church. I couldn't, when people are going away for like long weekends, I couldn't do that. For instance, some weekends you get that people do their housewarmings, people do their, you know, parties and whatever, and you get invited, but you can't attend. Why? Because you have to be at work. So I really didn't like that part. If you're not really a social person, that retail will definitely be for you, because oh my god, it was not working for me. So those are just some of the things that I didn't like, you know. Even on holidays, like December holidays, you must just forget about it. December holidays are cancelled. I mean, it's different when you have a different position. Say for instance, if you're permanent, you can still apply for leave. If you are still a casual, for some stores and some like companies, it's different. So you do get your holidays, but sometimes you don't, because December is the busiest time of retail. So it is very hard to get off days or maybe leave days in December. You get me? So yeah, that's enough ranting. That's one of my cons. Actually, that's the biggest one. That was my biggest issue. Okay, so the second one, I think it correlates with the first one that I mentioned on the pros. So if you are someone who are very introverted, so if you're someone who is not very much of a conversational person, retail is not going to be for you, because you need to talk a lot with people, and sometimes, you know, you don't feel like that's another thing that one of the cons about retail is that when you don't feel like talking, you need to talk still, because it's your job. Your job is literally talking to people every single day. So if you're having a bad day, you need to really swallow a potato and just move on and speak to people, because you don't have a choice. Hence, you find some people in retails or like in your supermarkets or whatever, they are sometimes in bad moods and stuff. It's because sometimes they're going through something and now they still need to communicate with people, and it's just not the right day. I'm not condoning that behavior, but I'm just saying sometimes, you know, when people do that, just be like, you know what, one of those days. But sometimes I know it comes off a little bit rude, and I never liked it personally because I never want someone to do that to me. So I tried my best not to do that to other people while I was working in retail. So yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, like sometimes you're just going through the most and you still need to communicate with people. So the last con would have to be Shimula, baby. Shimula. Money. When it comes to like salary wise, your paycheck, when it comes to retail, when you're starting off in retail, things are going to be very slow salary wise. With me, because I started in retail while I was in varsity and I was still living at home, everything was cool. I was happy with the salary. I could not have been more happier with the salary because, for one, I didn't have that kind of income, you know. So me getting that kind of money while I was at school, it was amazing because I was not gonna get that money anywhere else. So the starting salary can be very discouraging, if I may say so myself. It can be a little bit discouraging, especially if you're someone who has a lot of responsibility. And also this also depends on the position that you are in. Say for instance, if you're a casual, it will vary from being a permanent and being an assistant manager or being a manager of that store. So your salaries obviously are going to be different. And I feel like for every company, even in business, you have your startup salary and then you get, you know. Because even with me personally, by the time I left where I was working, I was earning a decent salary, like a very, very decent salary. I was not getting peanuts, let me just say so. I was very much getting a decent salary because I've been with the company for a long time, but it was still not as much. But also, when you are in a situation where you are very desperate for a job, or maybe you need a job, trust me, you're going to be grateful for anything that you get, because I mean, that money, you were not going to get it anywhere else. So I was also personally very grateful because of the fact that I even had an income, you know. So yeah. But I'm just giving you my 2 cents based on my experience on some of the things that I have knowledge of when it comes to the retail industry. But I'm gonna leave a platform for you guys who want to know more information, and just put it on the comments down below. You can ask me questions, I will answer you, and also you can just give me some of the things that you would like to know, and then probably I'll just do a video and answering you guys, also maybe discussing some of the things that you have questions on. So with that being said, my love, this brings us to the end of today's video. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And please also don't forget to turn on your post notifications on so that you can be notified every time I post a new video. And please don't forget to also follow me on my social media platforms. It's zinhle_ndaliso, okay? And with that being said, I would love to love and leave you, and I'll see you on another Wednesday video. Bye.